Let's go straight to the United States and Republican strategist John Jordan. John, this is a huge story.
Yeah, it's a huge story here in the U.S., and I think it will be for the next few weeks. But ultimately, the midterms and American political discourse will return to the economy, which is dominated pretty much every survey in the last year.
But this is something that divides America, a story like this. Obviously, it's very contentious, very controversial.
Yeah, more so in the eyes of the media, actually. The polling on abortion is really complicated. First of all, there's a big misunderstanding in the U.S. even. Surveys consistently show that even Americans don't really understand what overturning Roe v. Wade would mean. Basically, all it means is that then each state gets to decide how it wants to restrict abortion. The Supreme Court does not in any way shape or dictate abortion policies or restrictions. So all it does is remand it to the states where elected representatives can then decide how they wish to regulate it or not regulate it in each state.
What about the Republican Senate primary in Ohio?
Well, that was J.D. Vance is certainly the front runner now to win that Senate seat. Ohio used to be a swing state, as Florida used to be, but those are now solid red states. So any Republican, especially in a Republican year, is going to win. So much has been made in the American media, again, about endorsements. And I guess that's kind of a tradition in American politics that goes back many decades. But the fact of the matter is that endorsements really don't matter. Although that Trump had a big night, if you are keeping score in that way, but it looks like J.D. Vance is going to be really, really difficult to beat this year and in that state.
As a Republican strategist, John, how do you snapshot or how do you look at Donald Trump in early days of May 2022 and where he sits going forward?
Well, the Trump agenda, of low taxes, actually enforcing our own laws along our border and energy independence are now resonating with the American people. In several surveys, in fact, one that came out yesterday, it showed Trump beating Biden by 14 points in a rematch and even more if he runs against Kamala Harris. So it looks like Americans are now beginning to understand that, take the view that politics isn't personality, it's policy. And they're seeing the effects of Biden's policies, which are hugely unpopular, over 2-1 in the economy alone, which is far and away the number one issue. Even Latino voters are now split to leaning Republican, and they were supposed to be the bulwark of the Democrat Party going forward. Even black voters, where Republicans had only gotten 6 to 8%, are now getting a quarter. So the Democrats are looking at a landslide catastrophe in 2022, and the Democrat Party becoming more the party of the elite coastal media and intelligentsia in the faculty lounges in the East and West Coast, while they're losing the working and middle class of all colors. And that's a real threat to the Democrats as they banked their future on a rising electorate of a growing number of brown voters in America, which are now souring on the Democrats. So American politics are scrambled, and President Trump, if he wishes the nomination, will be certainly very, very difficult to beat. And even the never-Trumpers like Mitt Romney can see that. But the primary is 2 years away, and we'll have to see who runs.